Guys, here's something I've noticed more so as of late. A lot of guys don't want to admit they're jealous or they experience jealousy. Yet, they'll be the first guys to say things like, well, that guy's fake. He's a fraud. He got lucky. His wife settled. That business he has, yeah, that won't last. Oh, he's on steroid. He's on the gear. His parents had money. He's a trust fund baby. He must not spend time with his wife or kids. Anything, guys, and I mean anything except the truth. Because admitting another man has built something you secretly want or desire means admitting that you haven't. And guys, that's painful. It stings. It hurts, right? Take it from a guy who did his fair share of hating as a younger man. Guys, I was a hater. This video applies to me as much as it is anybody I'm talking to. But here's the uncomfortable reality, guys, and it coming a little early here. A lot of guys aren't jealous of another man's success. What they're really jealous of is another man's courage or his balls. His balls to attempt something meaningful. And those guys are two completely different things. Look, if you're new here, my name is Garrett Charles. What I do is I help men rebuild themselves physically, mentally, and personally. Guys, because average doesn't happen overnight. It happens one compromise at a time. So if you're tired of drifting through life and you're ready to become the man you know you are capable of becoming, guys, you're in the right place. Guys, you can also follow me on Instagram. The link is below in the bio. All right, let's keep going. Guys, I don't want to label envy or jealousy as evil. In fact, I think envy provides information. I think it actually has a biological function. As a matter of fact, I know it does. Stick with me, guys, and hear me out on this. So when another guy irritates you or ruffles your feathers, pay attention. Ask yourself, why him? Why does this guy bother me so damn much? Why not everybody else? Well, it's because this guy represents something. Maybe, guys, maybe he got in shape. He got jacked. He got that body. Maybe he started a business. Maybe he left corporate America and, the kind of 9-to-5 meat grinder. Maybe he travels. Maybe he built an incredible marriage or he dates amazing and beautiful women. Maybe he writes books. Maybe he starts creating. Perhaps he has confidence. He speaks his mind without apology. He just lives differently. Maybe he became proof, guys, that your bullshit excuses aren't as solid as you originally thought. Maybe, just maybe, guys, they're simply that, bullshit. And most of you already know it. All right, fellas, this is where modern culture, really sticks it to a lot of men. Instead of saying, I respect what that guy built. I admire his tenacity, his gumption, his discipline, whatever. Instead, what happens most often is we attack him, right? Social media made criticism free. It also made it, guys, there's not that fear of getting popped in the mouth. You're on the other side of a keyboard or a screen. A lot of guys feel they can say whatever the hell they want without retribution. Sort of can, but they would never say this stuff to the person's face in many cases. So, what happens is every ass clown with a phone or a keyboard suddenly becomes a quote unquote expert. Guys, I am sure you have seen it. Somebody loses, 50, 100 pounds. They get lean, they get jacked, or they just simply get healthy. Here come the comments. It's Ozempic, right? Guy builds a business. He is suddenly a scammer, a con artist, or a cheat. Guys, it's understandable because there are a lot of that out there. But it's not everybody, and it's not every case. He has a happy marriage. Oh, just wait. It's going to fall apart. He's got a beautiful girlfriend or dates beautiful women non-exclusively. Oh, yeah, she's probably cheating. She's just with him for the money. Or here's a favorite of mine. He outkicked his coverage. American football analogy. Nice physique. Well, he's steroids, trend. He's on the gear, TRT, anything but hard work and discipline. Maybe he travels the world, guys. Well, maybe, oh, then he's a trust fund baby. Daddy paid for it, or he inherited that money. Guys, do you notice something here? Do you notice a trend here? Nobody wants to investigate failure. They want to only investigate success. There's somehow somebody cheated their way to where they are. All right, guys, I'm going to get a little psychological with you. I'm going to get a little deep in the mind. The reason another man's success may bother you has almost nothing to do with him. Crazy. I know, right? It's right there, fellas. What it is, it's because he exposed you. He exposed the life that you abandoned, or the one that you never even tried for. Guys, that shit stings. I went through that a lot, and it should fucking bother you. Guys, a lot of men had ambition. At 18, they're 18, young, full of piss and vinegar. They wanted to build something. Then at 22, guys, they wanted, freedom. And at 27, then they wanted adventure. Well, what happened then? The bills, the marriage, the routine, Netflix, Pornhub, beer, weed, scrolling, the list goes on and on. And then a job that pays just enough, guys, those golden handcuffs that I've talked about before. And of course, the friends who stopped growing 2 decades ago. A body that slowly disappeared, whittled away. Years pass, guys. Then one day, some guy your age starts living the life you wanted. You see him on social media. Now he pisses you off because it causes you to look in the fucking mirror, right? And it's, not because he is necessarily successful, but because he reminds you that you used to have standards, you used to have ambition, and you used to have goals. What happened? Guys, it's easy to say that men envy money. I think that's part of it, but that's not the full story. What they envy is the freedom what that money affords. They envy, waking up without that sort of existential dread that, I talk about the Sunday scaries and, going to work every week for the next 40 years. They envy confidence, guys. They envy discipline. They envy purpose-driven energy. They envy that guy with direction, a guy who knows where he's going. They envy walking to the room knowing exactly who the hell they are. Guys, money is just the visible symptom. Identity is actually what they're staring at. All right, fellas. Here's where I think things have become, and a word I like to use often, they have become sort of dangerous. Men spend hours a day, every single day, watching men that they will never become. Entrepreneurs, athletes, creators, podcasters, travelers, millionaires, whatever. Guys who have built something. They consume the success. The people watching, they consume this instead of building it. And then something sort of strange happens psychologically, sort of mentally between your ears. Your brain starts confusing this observation with participation. I think you've heard this before. You watched, 5-10 hours of successful people, and you get a few drips of that dopamine, that dopamine we love to get. Meanwhile, your life changed exactly 0% in this time. You're watching motivation. You watch discipline. You watch adventure, but you never moved from your couch or your bed. Guys, that's what modern masculinity has become. Watching. Mental masturbation. All right, guys, from my seat in the cheap seats in the bleachers, envy is going to create one of 2 types of men. And here's they are. So I noticed that there are generally only 2 responses when you meet a man sort of ahead of you, a man, up the ladder or levels ahead of you. Response number 1, you attack him. You try to explain or rationalize away his success, how he got there. You may gossip like a bitch. You tend to minimize. You hope he fails. Guys, there is a German term, and I've talked about this before, called Schadenfreude. It's when people get a sort of a perverse satisfaction seeing others fail. Think of it another way, guys. It's sort of crabs in the bucket. That's envy. Now, Then we get on to response number 2. You study him. You ask questions. You become curious. You respect the work, the grind, the hustle, the discipline, right? You start to sort of steal or borrow his principles, not his possessions, guys. That's growth. What that is, guys, is maturity. The successful man didn't create your insecurity. What he did, he just simply revealed it. All right, guys, hard truth time. So let me tell you something I had to learn the hard way. And like many lessons, I had to learn them the hard way. That's why I'm trying to help you guys avoid these. Guys, I did all this shit I talk about in my videos. I don't want you to think I'm above any of you or above any of this. Been there, done that. I'm just trying to impart some wisdom. So whenever I felt envy, guys, I've tried to stop asking, why does he have that? I don't. And instead, I started asking, what decision did I avoid that this guy made? Where did I play it safe? Where did I procrastinate? Where did I do nothing out of fear? Out of fear of failure. Guys, because that question is the game changer. Because almost everything in life comes down to decisions repeated long enough. Guys, look, he didn't become him or that guy overnight. And neither did you, brother. All right, guys, as we get toward the end here, I'm going to try and bring this all together. I honestly believe, and I truly believe this, that men should feel envy. Occasionally, it has a perfect purpose. Guys, I'm not talking about toxic envy or, that drives you insane, and not necessarily bitterness, but more of, let's think of it as a constructive envy. Because envy points directly toward the life that you were supposed to build, the one that you sort of procrastinated on. It is there for a reason, reminding you of what you need to be doing. Guys, it's like the pain in the gym. When you get under the weights, you feel that strain, the bit of pain. I'm not talking injury, but pain, a little bit of pain. It hurts because something weak inside you is being exposed. I think you get the idea here. Guys, the question isn't, who do you envy? The better question is, what are they showing you about yourself? Because maybe, just maybe, guys, the guy you keep criticizing is actually the roadmap to the life you want. So here's what I want you guys. No, here's what I need you guys to do. Think about one guy who secretly gets under your skin. He really pisses you off. Maybe it's me. That's kind of egotistical. Hopefully it's not me. Maybe it is. Who knows? Anyways, guys, think of that one guy that really, he just gets under your skin for whatever reason. It's not because he's necessarily arrogant. It's not because he's a bad person, but because he built something. Then guys, ask yourself this one question. What part of him do I actually admire? That's where your work begins. Guys, if this video made you uncomfortable, angry, pissed off, then good. That's kind of was the intent here. Because that's where growth usually starts, guys. Appreciate you guys. If you made it this far in the video, guys, appreciate you again. You made it this far, you're legends. If you haven't subscribed, guys, please do. Just click the button. If you thought the video was valuable, pass it on to somebody who could use this. Guys, the message is getting out there. It's growing. I appreciate the support from each and every one of you. Fellas, I got to run, but remember, live deliberately.